Hello YouTube, Brady back, part 2 of the Cape York track, and as you would have seen, we are on the dirt. We left Hahn River at 7 o'clock on schedule. On as schedule as we could be. We have had to take a bit of a deviation from our original planned trip. The route anyway, destination's still going to be the same, so the section of road between Laura and just where I stopped at Hahn River where the tar starts again was pretty good. There was crews there working on it. I don't know if they're sealing it or if they're just grading it, but obviously they haven't got north of Hahn River yet. 1+, no rattles. I've fixed the rattling issues, so I won't go stir crazy completely, but we're just poking along here. I'm just sitting on 75k an hour in 4th gear, doing about 2,000 revs, just holding at this, and it seems to be working pretty good so far. And we get a couple of bad sections, and it seems everyone's been driving in the table drain. It's just made them worse, so I'm sitting in the middle. Got every now and then there's a bit of hard to pack clay that isn't corrugated. There's no bumps or dips either side of it, stepping up or stepping off it, which is good. Our destination for this morning is Cohen. That's where our next fuel stop is. It should be just about 200 k's. We got 3/4 of a tank, so there's no issue there in reaching Cohen. But from all research, that is the cheapest place on the Cape to get fuel at $2.43 it was last time I checked. So we're going to get to there. Unfortunately, Hahn River wasn't open, so I couldn't pull in there and get a sticker and a stubby holder or a hat. But anyway, that's that'll be it for next time. Because oh no, we're coming down to Laura, so and then out to Lakeland, Battle Camp Road. So maybe we'll stop in there on the way home. Anyway, I didn't point it out last night, but if you'll notice in the drone footage I took, there's some dark clouds to the north. Not storm clouds, not rain clouds, but smoke haze. The Cape's on fire at the moment. They've lit all the seasonal fires, so there is a smoke hazard to worry about. We've got some fires burning off to the side of us here now. I'm just constantly checking my rear view mirror because I know I'm only doing 75. I'm sure the trucks would be sticking to their 100, even though there was a battery cover sitting on the road back there. It had obviously come off after all the corrugations. It's just, if you see something on the side of the road like that, it probably means there's a rough section ahead. But anyway, I'll turn it back around here while I'm talking so you can see what's going on at the front. Nice section here. As we're coming down to is this Jones Creek? Anyway, she was a bit warm this morning. It was 24, so I didn't end up making a coffee when I woke up. Just packed some stuff up, packed the rooftop tent up on the plus. Yes, it is handy. I've got to make sure there's going to be a step up here. Don't hit the concrete in the middle because that's where everyone else goes, and that's where your step up, step down is going to be, and it could be a doozy. There's a bit of moisture on the road here, or I had a shower come through last night because I'm not making barely any dust now, which gives me a good visibility. See about a kilometre back now, which is good. So anyway, I'll apologise now. Obviously, still on the trip, haven't got home and edited stuff yet. But that part 1 was just a lot of driving, and I've said it before. A lot of enjoying a destination that is getting there. And while yes, most people don't film getting there, I thought having something documented on the trip up. Car. Turn my lights on too, so lights on, be seen. Glad I passed him there where the dust isn't as bad, but we'll slow down a little bit. I've got I purchased a extra filter sock for the air intake on the snorkel. I was going to wait until I got up to Bamaga or something before I put that on, but we'll see how we go with the dust. Doesn't appear to be much wind at the moment, so no one's waving. All dust. Probably why it's so smooth here. Wind rail dirt on the side tells me they've been doing some work here or something for the 60k signs out. But yeah, as I was saying before, a lot of the trip is just that travelling. When you're travelling, look at the gauge. We've done 3,130 k's, so a lot of the trip is just getting to a destination. Here comes this Land Cruiser, 100 mile an hour over the hill. Definitely not doing 60. But now we're up here. Part 2 will be the Cape itself. I'll film as much of it as I can. Again, there's still another 800-900k before we actually get to the top, so it's only going to be interesting little bits in the middle. Oh yeah, road crews in that bunker there. That's alright. I didn't think there'd be one road crew to do the whole section. I'd have to have separate groups, but we're coming up on tar now. I'm using the HEMA HX1 that I purchased a couple of years ago. I picked it up, it would have been 2 or 3 weeks just before they announced the HX2, which, oh well, you can still get the updated software, but it's still showing a lot of sections as dirt instead of tar, so I thought I would have had a lot more dirt by now, but anyway. This black stuff isn't real interesting. We'll keep on heading north, and yeah, our next stop's Cohen. Back on the tar again. A couple of real bad sections there. Coming over the Great Divide and Range at Bamboo Station, it's just left, right, and once you come into these corners, just a massive berm, and because people come out of the dips on the power, just corrugate to absolute shit. By the end of it, I think I was down to about 60, holding 60 in third and just cruising along that way. Still only a couple of real bad spots where you'd start to shake a fair bit, but for the most part it's still been pretty good, and from what I heard that was the worst section on the Cape, so although there's supposed to be another bad section before we get to the Jardine Ferry, but that'll be for tomorrow. So we are back on the tar now. It's good. That last section was probably 20 or 30 Ks. I'm doing 60k an hour. Looks like we're about to go back on the dirt. Yeah, here we go. And for the most part too, especially coming over the Great Divide there, it seems to be mostly sand. Like it was sand dune, the road was all sandy, there was barely any dust. Funny, I'll complain, I'll bitch and moan behind the scenes about the Colorado and not really liking it, and trying to work out a replacement vehicle to put in front of the van for a forever car, and I must say, having all-round coil suspension on this stuff, I guarantee if you're in a ute with leafs, you'd be feeling it a hell of a lot more. And I reckon if I had the van on, I'd be feeling it a hell of a lot more too. Now, I know a lot of people tow four-wheel drive, like the off-road vans up here, the hybrids. People even tow just your standard dual axle Jaycos and that, and even some of the older stuff as well. It'd be a slow trip. You'd be lucky with how much dust comes in. So here's another one of sections 2. That whole top of that berm there, it's just deep corrugations. On the right side and on the left side, because all northbound traffic just hugs the corner. But we're cruising steady along here at 70 k's an hour. I was hoping that tar would go for a bit longer, but it hasn't. The fun bit is you got to come all the way back down here. One way up, one way down. Oh, I'd lie, you can go across to Normanton and up that way, but the tip, this is the way to do it, or the way to go anyway. There was one section, see, this looks like sand here as well. There's one section back there that was sand like this. Come up on a 2-trailer road train doing about 40k an hour. Got him on the UHF and snuck around because I slowed to 40 as well. He was in the middle of the road, and on either side was probably a car whip or a truck whip for either side of him, and it was corrugated the shit out. So as soon as he tried to power on, it was just another thing to be mindful too is all these dips and water crossings and causeways. They're the signs are there for a reason. If you went through that doing 100, you'd bottom out and probably lose it. There's been a couple where you've where are we going to go? It's all pretty bad through here. A couple back there where you sort of have a bit of a rise as you hit the tar, then drop down, then spring back up again. And if you're doing 80, 90 or 100, it would be a bad time, especially if you're towing a van or something as well. But the fuel truck was coming south, so he's delivered fuel up here somewhere. Hopefully, well, even though he was empty, he was only cruising along doing 40 or 50 as well. So I don't know if it's just, I don't know how much I feel the bumps in the Volvo, but I don't know if it's am I speeding doing 70k an hour? I'm in control of the vehicle, there's no issues there. Going slow enough I can slow down or brake if needed. But we've got another floodway here. Yeah, that was a bad bit. Try and find some smooth ground. And I've got to keep an eye on that UHF mount too, which by looks of it's already come loose. We're only 100 k's or so, a couple hundred k's up the PDR. I've still got a lot more of this, but I never noticed on the Flinders Trek when I got back to Hawker, the aerial had come undone and it was just hanging there. Luckily the bolt's over the coax, so it can't go anywhere. It's just a matter of tying it back on or bolting it back on. But looks like it'll be something I'll be doing up when I get to Cohen, because it's already wobbling around a little bit there now. But we'll keep on persisting on this dirt. There's rain forecast, so that'll help the dust. That isn't really that bad. The dust was worse yesterday on the red dirt sections back near Laura. There's this sandy stuff and even this reddy stuff here not throwing up bugger all dust. There's no there's a bit of a breeze blowing away from you, so any cars coming are, it's blowing the dust away from you, and then I'm slowing down to 40 or 50 for oncoming traffic as well, so there's very minimal dust. I don't think I'll worry about the snorkel sock. One of the bigger issues you get and why people use it in the busy season, if you're in a convoy of 3 or 4 cars coming up here and you're a couple hundred metres apart, or because they're city slickers, they'd be right up each other's arse, and you're just copping full dust from the car in front of you, then yeah, you'd be cleaning your air cleaner out each morning, you'd be re-oiling your filter sock, you'd be doing all that sort of stuff. But UHFs, they reach 3 or 4 Ks, just sit back, be a K apart, and just take your time. That's what you're on holidays for. So I think we've left the dirt behind for good now. We come across Archer River, and that's definitely changed a lot since, well, in the last couple of years anyway, that big bridge that's been built over the Archer River. We'll stop there on the way back and have a bit of a look around, but we're at this lookout here. By the looks of it, we're at the end of the Great Dividing Range, so no more of the ups and downs and everything else, but if we come around here, a bit of information on the boards here, feel free to pause it as you wish to read. History of the local area, both European and Indigenous, but we're about 20 k's off the start of Bamaga Road here, so a good little spot just to stop on top of the hill, check on things. I had to D-shack on the back of the car. I noticed the pin was nearly all the way out, so I've just tightened that up. Go around here. Probably don't need it on until we get up there, but I did have it done up tight with a shifter, and it still seemed to come loose. So everything else looks all right. All the wheel nuts are still on it. I did have to tighten the UHF area, as I said. It started coming loose, but apart from that, the corrugations for the PDR anyway conquered. So yeah, anyway, it was about up past 10, quarter to 11, so we're doing all right time wise. We'll keep on going forward, and we'll get a photo at the Bamaga Road turn off, and head up. We've got Morton Telegraph Station and then Bramwell Junction after that. But the clouds are grey. We've had some showers already. There's one section of road back there where the windscreen wipers were going flat out. I'm surprised the car's not caked in mud, but maybe on the way home. But anyway, let's keep on going that way. Yes, I did forget to turn my headlights off. Here we are, Morton Telegraph Station. It's just up on top of the hill there. Kick me thongs off. We're going to go down this water because I haven't had a chance to have a swim on this trip yet. And although we're not going to have much of a swim, we are going to get our feet wet. Now, oh God, that's warm. There's no swimming signs, there's no croc warning signs, but it's pretty shallow. Nothing's going to come over that log at me from the bottom. And I've got sand above me to keep an eye on. So, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's fresh water. So we are going to sit down in this. Oh yeah, nice. Oh. It's warm. It's about 31, 32 degrees, so I pulled into the Telegraph Station there thinking it would be just some old ruins and that, but there's actually a property in there and that, so turn around and come back out. But yeah, keep an eye out for these snapping handbags. But Bramwell Road for the most part's been pretty good. First 30 or 40 k's, nice dirt. If the PDR was like that, you'd have no trouble on a scooter riding up here, let alone a bloody two-wheel drive car, a Commodore, or whatever else. So I'll spin you around so you can have a bit of a look. One thing I didn't mention earlier with the Archer River Bridge, just how much taller than the old causeway they built it, and there's still 2 metre flood signs on top of the bridge. So just the amount of water that flows down these river systems and that during the wet season is just no wonder the whole joint gets locked off, shut up shop over the wet season. Traffic for the main part's been pretty good too. There's one car was about a K behind me there coming up. We did hit roadworks about 5k south of the Telegraph Station, and water truck and that running. Oh, that's a big eagle. No, I'm not dog food. Good luck picking me up. You're lucky it didn't come, Roxy. You would be dog food. Oh, here comes the car. I'll see if they slow down. It is a single lane bridge, so you're meant to give way. No, Tourist in a troopy. So anyway, I'm going to wet my hair and God, there's hawks and eagles everywhere. I'm going to wet my hair and have some lunch. It's 12 o'clock. We're still about 50k south of Bramwell Junction, I think, so we'll finish up here and then that'll be the next port of call and the start of the Old Tele Track. Well, there it is, the famous sign and the famous track, but unfortunately not on this trip. It's just being solo, a couple of issues with the car I don't want to put it through, and being solo and having to drive all the way back home, it's just something I don't want to do to the car. So plus all these cars going home, not many coming up, so I wonder how busy the track's even going to be. We're going to go in and camp at GUNSHOT, I think. We might even camp in there for the night and not see a single car come through, but that's been Bramwell Junction Roadhouse. By the looks of it, the tourist park's closed. After 2:30. Yeah, someone said it's about 5-hour trip up to the Jardine ferry from here. They close at 5, I think. But there was a couple of real bad sections of bull dust just out of town there. Had to slow right down. Car didn't like it at all, but you may hear it. We have got ourselves a rattle now on the roof. I've walked around and checked everything. I can't see nothing loose, so we'll just keep an eye on it. In the morning I'll go around everything with a spanner and tighten everything up. But now north on the Bamaga Road, although we're heading east, so it does a big loop around and then back on across the Old Tele Track, then another loop around and up to the ferry. Again, not a lot of traffic coming up. I know I haven't had a car behind me since the Morton Telegraph station. I've had probably 3 cars coming down. 2 of those had vans on them and the other one was just a Stocko Land Cruiser, so he hadn't done the track. So I wonder, I know people are still coming up here for October, but I don't know how many are actually doing the Old Telegraph track now that they've come up here. But we're about to hit this dirt again. If it's this hard packed red clay, then it'd be good. It doesn't get corrugations in it. You just got to watch for potholes where it's broken up. That's all right. Sit on 85 comfortably along this. The other small little issue I've got is power. We'll get to camp and see how much solar is going to get picked up when it's overcast like this. No, my luck, probably none. I didn't realise the DC charger for my power pack wasn't plugged in all the way, or when we hit the first lot of corrugations this morning, the plug had come out. So we've only been able to get about 80% back into the battery, or get it back to 80% now, which with the freezer going and with how warm it is, it's sort of dropping that 30-35% overnight. Which is one of the reasons I've been driving so much during the day, just to run the fridge off the car and let the car charge that battery for as long as it can. This is going to be the last of the big days. Tomorrow we're only got to cross the river at the ferry and then go up to the tip, park, and then come back to Somerset. So there's not going to be a lot of driving, a lot of time with the car running. So we might have to camp at Somerset, half in the sun, just to get some sun on the solar panels. But hopefully this cloud clears up. I know it's supposed to get really wet on the weekend when we're originally supposed to get here, but we're a couple of days early. It's Wednesday, so I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of my week and a half off, because I'll be in the same dilemma going home. It's all fair and good going home and find somewhere to camp, but unless I'm getting the hours in during the day to charge the car, because it only puts in about 100 watts of power as we're driving. There might be a motel room stay somewhere on the way home just to fully charge everything again, but it won't be up here. We're off grid again tonight, and we'll worry about it tomorrow. Well, here we are at GUNSHOT. I don't think that poor jackaroo's going to get through, or go any further for that matter, but I just stopped up the top of the hill there where the footage from the camera started, and ran down because a couple of tracks down here were looking gnarly. I'll turn around so you can see and not see me, but a couple of tracks were looking a bit gnarly, and found a chicken track into this camp area, or flat spot anyway, but the joint's completely deserted. Now, we'll go and have a look around the big one and that, but obviously she's been flogged out here. Go either side of this stump and just IFS vehicles chewing up on the different directions or different angles of the suspension, so I don't think you'd drive that. You'd be winching off something or snatching, but I can't believe no one else is here. I've read a couple of other people commented they're going to come in the bypass track and have a look around. Well, there's the big drop. We'll end up over there eventually, but I don't feel how cool this water is. Oh wow, it's cooler than the wetlock, but seems like a track through there as well, although it looks a bit steeper. So this might be our chicken track here. God, there's tracks everywhere. Oh. Yeah, rightio, chicken track they say. Take your pick, Huey, Dewey and Louie. And Donald. That mud. Tracks they've used in the past, last year. Obviously blocked by the wet season. I know that one there used to be the chicken track, because I remember seeing people do it. Oh, it's around the corner. There, they just get worse as you get further around here. And that'd be the one I've seen through the trees there. There's just wow, and then how hard's the bottom? Actually, it's quite firm. Oh, sunk down to my knees. Oh, and now my crutch. That's the problem, boys, with the big tyres. Chew the deep holes, and then anyone with 31s or smaller tyres anyway, they've got no hope. And if you got a pole or a bit of wood like that, someone's been using timbers instead of winching out, you're just going to punch a hole straight through transfer case, gearbox or the sump. So go back around here, get this mud off me knee. Oh, a fish. Seen fish go down the water, go down the river into his little tank. So we end up back over there with the big one, and it is starting to spit heavier now. I know motorbikes come down that one there. I can't believe no one's here. That's just got panel damage written all over it. To be on that camber, there's a good 2 foot drop on the bottom side to the top, but it looks like the one people have been using. Oh, and that'd be why. Uh-oh, I'm going ass up. Stop. That'd be why she's not a straight drop, she's more of a roller coaster. But still, I don't want to go any deeper in here. I'm in bare feet. That's your departure. Canopies, roof racks, awnings, rooftop tents, just dragging along there. And this mud, this clay is slippery as what you say? Slippery as shampoo. Yeah, that hasn't been used this season at all. Probably because the back of it where you used to drop in is now the big drop in, the actual gunshot as they would call it. Tell you what, I was worried there wouldn't be any water in here, but it's flowing. Nice little deep spot I can submerge myself in there, so I'll make use of that later. So here's our big one. Is it? It's a problem, they're all big now. And it's making water, there's water flowing out of the hole. I reckon that's our big one. Interesting, there's wheel tread marks going up it. 95% of videos I've seen, everyone's on full lock up and we're sliding down. So you wouldn't get tyre treads, you just get flat slide marks, but doesn't even seem to be anyone camped at the top side of it. That one's making water as well. Must be just water coming out of the ground here. Because the bypass track I come in on had it was between this creek and the Bamaga Road, and there was no creeks or streams you pass there. So rightio, this would be a chicken track as well. And this looks a bit more doable if I was with someone else. You've only got that little tree there to recover off, so you'd definitely be snatching. I still can't believe no one's here. Just boggles the mind. I've got the place to myself. Oh, tropical rainforest creek. Where are you alligators at? How nice is that? And you watch, I bet the mosquitoes come out and absolutely rape and pillage tonight. Anyway, anything else, stiff shit? So at least it's a straight drop, there's no off camber. Get bitten by a bloody brown snake and die out here. It'd still be a wild ride though. So there's nothing else to the east. That's how it's bad enough just standing here, let alone driving down that. Plus you got the approaches too. No, the approach to that big one, where is he here? Oh, that's hiding an Olympic dive board swimming pool. So that's why you wouldn't drop into that one now, because you wouldn't get around there to drop in. Whew. Go away, rain. So that's all sand at the start of that. But yeah, you got little chicken tracks around it to get to the obstacles. Probably a good reason why there's no one here. No one's. You either got to commit or you've got to backtrack 4 or 5 k's down and take the loop track I just took to bypass it. And that bypass road coming in off Bamaga Road's probably the single worst corrugated section of road I've ever experienced. I think I was just putting along in first gear doing about 2k an hour. You just couldn't hit it with speed. And because it was all sand, going that slow seemed to just push the tops off the corrugations, and you didn't have to go through the whole did. But it's one of them things, if you're not committed to doing gunshot, then you're probably not going to come here and camp. And obviously we are at the tail end of the season, so even if I come in here alone and waited for someone else to come in so you do it as a pair, you'd probably be waiting a while. So, yeah. That's Gunshot Creek. Oh, you're not going to see. There's fish swimming down there. fishy, 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 fishy. Anyway. What to do? What to do? What to do? So even like to come in, I think it's about 2k from where the bypass track comes back onto the Old Telegraph and comes into here. There's rubbish everywhere. I'll go up here for a walk because beyond this exit here, and one thing to understand too, when you're watching people do videos, the one thing that's going to set my video apart is the lack of excitement, because I'm doing the hard stuff. You're doing entertainment, trying to make a product. You do the hard stuff, but I don't get paid for the entertainment, and I got to get home. So, where's this hill climb? Well, there's plenty of space, plenty of flat space to camp over here, but yeah, no one's here. Someone set a clothesline up there. I think this is the one. That doesn't look as bad from the bottom as it did from the top. But again, you've got a couple of exits here that have been washed in by the wet season. They've all gone up here to the left. Again, just IFS, left, right, left, right. You'd need a locker to get through that, which Colorado does not. And then we head north up the Old Telegraph track. Pretty long exit over here. I think it's just where all the water's been flowing into the creek. It probably was an exit at some point. Oh, the toilet here, didn't realise. Didn't see the sign. Toilet all through there, look at it. Anyway. Humanity. Never fix it. Baby wipes here everywhere that just have not decomposed. So, walk back into the car. I'm not quite on sand here, it's just this grey dirt. Where the front of the car is, it's actually hard pack black clay. Just trying to think ahead for if it does get wet tonight. I don't think it's supposed to get too wet, but probably going to be one up here near the trees somewhere so I can run my tarp out. At least have some undercover area to sit. A bit of park not in there. There's plenty of areas that have been pushed back into the scrub here where people are parked. I imagine the grass and that growing through here at the end of the wet season when it's hasn't had anyone in here for a couple of months. And for those drinking at home, take another sip because I can't believe no one else is here. Watch the glass here, got no shoes on. No dead bodies in there. Oh, abandoned cars are up there everywhere. Has anyone badged it? Oh no, it's a Pathfinder. Not a Jickaroo. Weird, gunshots. Bullet impacts on the side. Before the sign up at the Cape got replaced, again, bullet impacts in it. Who's shooting shit up here? So, I'm going to get out of this black shit because if I go down and get, or when I have a shower later, I don't want that sticking to the footsies. So, but I don't want to go too far away from the creek as well, just in case someone does turn up. I want to be able to hear them on approach. So, I reckon just up here will probably be fine. It's nice and level. I'm probably going to give it to about 9 o'clock in the morning. If no one turns up, I'm going to keep on going. I'm not going to be able to get the solar panel out. She's too forested in here, but yeah, anyway, we'll walk around in circles with our bum dragging on the ground like a puppy dog looking for somewhere to camp, and yeah, then we've got to start thinking about dinner. That base is like concrete to the last probably metre, and then you've seen where I sunk down where the bull bar's been digging in. I mistook that earlier for four-wheel drive tracks. There are wheel marks going down there, which leads me to believe that someone towed a trailer down here. I'm sure that disaster's on YouTube somewhere. But also down the guts and down the sides there's motorbike tracks, so guys have been riding their motorbikes down there, and that is batshit insane. I've seen 2 videos of blokes doing it, but that's crazy. I just went for a walk up south a little bit because I could have sworn I heard vehicles getting carried in the wind, and I could hear music getting carried in the wind, but walked up and found the track, and it doesn't look like any clear spots up there. So if you do want to camp at GUNSHOT, it looks like the northern end. You got to do it, then camp. But I may be wrong. We'll get the drone up if this wind dies off. Most likely we'll get the drone up in the morning, and yeah, have a bit of an aerial look around. Even though you can see these holes from space. Google Earth, jump on Google Earth, jump on Google Maps and satellite, and you can see GUNSHOT from space. But anyway, I'm going to cool off in the water. That'll do us for today. We'll be back in the morning, and we'll start the old Telegraph track north to Pemmica Road anyway. We're not doing the north sections, but we've got Sailors Creek to do, and we'll see what fun we can have on the way. Good morning. So that was Gunshot. Unfortunately, well, I preferred it with no one else there, but it would have been good to see someone try and go down anyway. But we've just left. We're heading north up the Old Telegraph track now. I'll just close this other window. We probably should address the shaven elephant in the room. Seeing how hot it was starting to get up here, just how much the humidity was starting to build, I didn't want to come up here with a full head of hair, so we the night before I left, we got the snippers out and snip. So that is why I'm rocking the incredible short haircut. What else is there? One thing that's real handy to bring, especially on a trip like this, is just some sort of bucket, 10 litre bucket, little 5 litre bucket, something, just so you can wash your windows, do all that sort of stuff, be able to see out the car, because with the amount of dust that you get on your up here, and I haven't necessarily been driving through other people's dust, it's been more so my dust blowing over the car, or again last night about 7 o'clock it just started spitting lightly, and it'd only be enough to hit the car, and within about a minute or two it would be get some air on in here, it'd be dissolved and gone. Starting to fog them up. So anyway, I'll turn you around so you can see what we're doing here. We've found a bit of a sand section here. I haven't engaged four-wheel drive yet. I also haven't dropped air pressures yet. I know it's one of them things they tell you to do, or say to do, suggest you do, but so far I haven't done it. If we keep on getting more of this sandy stuff, then yeah, we probably will. Well, especially once we get up to Somerset, because that beach and all the sand that comes inland there. But so far, air tyres are still sticking, and I only run them on about 34, 35 anyway, so they're not insanely blown up like a lot of people have them 40s and 50s. That's just madness. No wonder they're blowing them when they're getting too hot, that, or running them too low on the tar, or even on the dirt when it's starting to push to mid-30s. You don't want them tyres getting hotter than they need to, but so this is where we come in last night. Obviously no one else is coming over our wheel tracks. That's the chicken track around Gunshot, and again, I think I mentioned how bad the corrugations were last night. If you're doing the Tele Track and you want to miss Gunshot, rethink doing Gunshot, because if it's going to take you half an hour of winching and whatever else and digging to get through even the slices of chicken tracks that were there, it's still going to be quicker than going around the bypass. Especially those corrugations, they're just insane. But GPS won't find out where we are. Oh, up there, right. So we're heading north. Our next objective, or our next obstacle, should be Sailors Creek, and that's where we're going to come in. Originally I was going to come up Bamaga Road and then come in the top of the Tele Track. It's only about half a K, and camp at Sailors Creek, but seeing the bypass was there, seeing that road was in the Gunshot, I thought, well, if someone's doing it, that'll be the place to stay. But unfortunately, it's probably shows in the area why. You're far away from the water. By the time you go to the water, have a swim, come back up, your feet are black. I'm going to put some hubs in here because this is sand. And as we know, sand gets everywhere, and now I've stopped. It doesn't want to get going again. Man, this would be fun on a motorbike. Having the ride up in that high section in the middle. But yeah, you're away from the water. I don't know why, and you hear it every year, but man, the toilet paper everywhere. Granted, when it was busy over Christmas, over bloody June, July weekend, public school holidays, it's just insane how much toilet paper is in the sticks. None of it buried. And not just toilet paper, just general burnable rubbish. There's fire pits every square metre, or there's people have had a fire every square metre. They don't seem to want to reuse the fire spot that someone else has had, and it's just insane. Chip shaped boxes, chip packets, cardboard from slabs of grog and coke, all the stuff that can burn. Now, there's some four-wheel drive shows out there that show you to go and buy the big Samba fire starting logs and that, but if you have an empty slab box or an empty coke 30-pack box or something, and you put all your burnable rubbish in that, at the end of the night you want to start the fire on that, and it'll probably go just as good, and you haven't spent any money on extra firelight and stuff. So I'm going across the road there. So I can't actually see whereabouts we are because my GPS isn't firing up. It's not locating. Oh, there we go. So it thinks I'm back there. That's right. We must be getting close. Up here, once the trees start getting tall, you know, you're getting towards water. And I suppose thinking about too, yesterday when I got the photo in front of the Old Tele Track sign at the start of the track, the sign off to the campgrounds over in the paddock, there was no one camped there. Like I said, there was 3 or 4 four-wheel drives that were there, getting fuel, getting supplies, whatever else, and they all started heading south as I went north. So chances are there isn't even anyone doing the Tele Track at the moment. There's, well, what are we? I think we're Thursday, so we're midweek, just after the school holidays. I thought being a long weekend in Queensland, maybe people would extend their stay the extra 4 days for the 3rd week and then just have the kids call in sick, but it would not appear so. What do we got here? Gonna straddle this. Now, we'll address the other elephant in the room too. Why are we only doing this section of Tele Track and not the whole lot? I've explained it before. I don't want to wreck me 4-wheel drive. Again, if there was someone else especially spotting some of the harder stuff, I'd probably think about it, but a lot of... What the hell is that noise? Diff dragging on the ground. I've got a lot of stuff on the floor of the car that's at or below water height for a lot of these crossings up here, and I don't want that stuff flooded. When I sold the Patrol, I thought, I'm buying a 4-wheel drive just to get that little bit further than other people. I'm not buying a 4-wheel drive to go and do crazy stuff. And coming up here, even though for some reason I had in my mind, coming up here, doing the Tele Track, doing the Frenchman's Track, doing the old coach road, doing all the stuff up here would be way to go. Then you start researching it, looking at videos and realising that not beyond my abilities, but just not really, or a bit beyond, this being a newer IFS car, no rear locker, which is a big one. I would have gone down and parked on the sand at the water last night if I had a rear locker, because I knew I'd be able to climb back up that hill, but it's just, I'm by myself, I'm here for the adventure. The goal is putting my hand on that sign at the top of the hill. And if I could go back and tell previous self me one thing, it'd be don't put the goddamn big caravan mirrors on the car before you do it. Wait until you get back and put them on then. Even coming in off the main road yesterday, most of it was just sand like this. It's just, we're probably 50 mile in from the coast, 50, 60. So we are away from the coast, but just those easterlies are hitting the coast with no cliffs or rocks or forest to slow it down and just bellowing in over the inland stuff. It was wet, it was windy all the way up until when I went to bed last night, and then it was calm, and again, as I said, drop of rain trying to spit on me, and then rolled over about 5:30 this morning and seen the moon out, and I thought, that's a plus. There's no cloud over that area anyway. And wake up to semi-overcast again. And about 5:45, the wind started picking up. So it looks like we're about to come into something here. We'll jump out and have a look. Hopefully it's just a bridge over a creek, and we'll see what the rougher stuff looks like. So I had to speed a lot of this stuff up. If I didn't have it sped up, this video was going to be over 3 hours long, and although yes, some of us would have wanted to see that, we had to cut it down a little bit, so you're going to see most of the Old Tele Track that I do here, but it's just going to be sped up a fair bit. And I've said it before, but this time of year, being October, being a lot drier, you're going to see here some of these big holes like this would just be full of water when, if you're up there in June, July, or even May, even though there are these chicken tracks around, sometimes there aren't, and here again this would be all just a big swamp. I can only imagine trying to get through here during the busy tourist season when it's all churned up and you can't even see the bottom. Here again, another big ditch, big trench, just full of water. Just insane, insane to drive through. It'd be fun, but this is where most people do their alternators and all that sort of stuff. Just mud and electronics does not work, which is why I went up later in the year. Whoops. I forgot about Cockatoo Creek. It wasn't just Sailors Creek I had to cross. We'll go across Cockatoo Creek as well. Feeling fairly alarmed here. We'll go for a walk up here. We're going to stay close to the bank. You know you might be in for trouble when there's a sign on the approach saying towing and a phone number. I know in the past I used to drive up the bank here COCKATOO up and across, but it looks like straight through to guts now is the way to go. A big rock ledge there, so I reckon if I stay down, then drive up the guts and park over there and see what happens. Surely if there's a 3 metre salty in here, I'd see him. Yeah, because that drops off there. There's a big rock ledge there. It's all sand in the middle. And yeah, straight across there. And then we'll worry about getting out. That looks like fun. But cracking spot. I'd hate to come down here when it's bloody late May, early June and the water's a metre higher. It'd be very good trying to find yourself a path across here. But that's what we'll do. We'll get some stuff set up and come down and see if we can get stuck. It just goes to show how much the creek crossing had changed over 12 months. You look at any videos from the previous years and everyone turned right here and followed the bank up, but now you've got that washed out section, which you could technically still drive, but it's not the easiest path across. If you had the ground clearance, and look at all the mud coming out from under the car. Well, it did get a bit of a wash here. We're going to be straight back into the sand and the dirt, and it doesn't stay clean for long. Okay, so this is where the most trouble I have on the trip starts. Just rolling back here to get into low four, high four the first one. Fire in the first gear and give her all the berries, but we come a little unstuck here. We don't give it a good straight run to start with. But come on, I probably should have edited this bit out. Alright, let's go. Into it. Yeah, sends me straight off the road first. Lose a heap of speed by that wheel, that right-hand tyre going into the sand dune, and then we're down on our guts. I don't know how I was able to back out of this, but I was able to back out. We go back a little bit and give her another go, but it's just not going to work. Back down. We'll give option 2 a go, but it's just sand as well. least here we've got a bit of a hard stand. And there we go. We'll put her in manual here, first gear. Give her a bit, but as it says there, it's just bottomless sand. And again, we get to hear the belly plates hit on that sand ridge in the middle, and we're stuck. Again, we're able to back up, but we're in trouble. We're in trouble. At least we've got this hard bit here. We can launch off again and give her another go. And we do get slightly further, but it's at this point. I know we paid the money, the winch went on. It's time to get out and winch. So, it happened. We are on COCKATOO Creek. We're going to have to winch our way all the way out of here. Come on, off we go. Definitely need a winch. I don't think your max tracks are going to get you out of here. I'm just trying to drive it as much as I can, and as soon as it starts digging down I might nearly drive out now. I'll go and reset. I'll wind the winch rope up and see if it helps. No. Oh, ground clearance is the biggest issue here. Now, there's all sorts of dangers up here in the tropics. Crocodiles, snakes, all the big stuff, but it's the little things that can really get to you. And here, I didn't realise it. I headbutt a little shrub, which I didn't realise until I went back to unhook the rope, a massive green tree ant nest, and here they've started going down my shirt. I didn't realise at the time they were all over my hat and back, and yeah, we do get in the car before I realise why are they climbing all over the door and down my arm. And there's about 5 minutes of cut footage here where I'm out, shirt off, hat off, dancing around, swiping green tree ants off my head and body. There's a bloody turkey going. Turkeys here everywhere. Drive out, drive out. There's a lame turkey, maim, whatever you call it. That ordeal is over. Take her out at 4 low. Might take her out at 2 for a minute until we go around here. Someone's left their Waco behind. So it looks like a good place to camp here. Again, all this should be on the approach side, so you can walk up and down the rocks and not worry about getting covered in sand. But big area over there. I did try that other approach, that other exit point first, but unfortunately it was not going to work for us. Look that's the undercover area. It looks either something heavy's fallen on it or the white ants are into it, because all the main timbers in the middle there are cracked out. Probably not safe to be under to eat. But I've just got the extra winch remote inside the cab there for switch, so I didn't have to plug in anything outside except for the lead underneath the bonnet. Now, I know I'm going to cop shit for this. Bring it. Yes, I did put the genetic rope, the synthetic rope around the tree without a tree protector. Again, tree protectors were used back in the day, or brought in back in the day, because steel cable would chew into the tree. Now, as you're seeing, it didn't need a lot to pull out of there. It was just a little bit of extra tension on the car so the wheels could dig forward in the sand. If I was bogged to the arse or stuck to the hinges, I would have put a tree protecting that around it, but there was no real force on the cable or on the rope as it was. Oh, there you go, get some air. The car doesn't, temp gauge isn't saying hot, but you can feel it when you get out. That's a hole. No, misjudge this angle. Get to somewhere level up here and pull up. But yeah, I'd forgotten all about Cockatoo Creek. I'd looked to come in at the top at Sailors, camp there, or come in at Gunshot and come up to Sailors, but I neglected to see what was in between. And now we've probably lost half an hour in that. Quarantine alert, do not move mangoes. Old tin shed here. Spread of red banded mango caterpillar. So there must be an old residence here, and they've got some mangoes that shouldn't go anywhere. Can't see any, but oh well, that was a little bit of an adventure. Winch paid for itself. There you go. If you're coming up, you need a winch, or at least another car to tow you. But then, yeah, you'd still want someone to winch up that sand that was just deep, soft, and found no bottom to it. Forgot about this lagoon from memory. That is shallower, but has a muddy bottom. And that is deep, but has a firm bottom. It's this rock all the way through. Oh. Next to a bloody billabong in the middle of Cape York. What's the chance there's going to be a crocodile in there? Oh, shit. I can see the bottom over there at the other end. Oh, I wish I can come here where the motorbikes come through. There's absolutely bugger all the winch off on that side. Here you've got that lone tree in the middle, which if you're low enough and as long as you're not bogged, you might come through. And the billabong over there. Ah, bugger. I don't know if I got to it before, but the thing I really need to pay attention to is no one might do the track until the weekend, if anyone does it. So if something happens, we're in trouble, and I already got caught out by Cockatoo Creek and that sand on the approach, or the departure. I wasn't expecting that at all. That sand, that's one thing. The only thing we can do is go for a walk. I'll set the camera up so if I go underwater, last will and testament. I love you, honey. Love you, kids. Be good to each other.
Quietly the crocodile stalks its prey. This city slicker, or country boy, in high vis stands out to the poor eyesight of the crocodile. Of all the places in Cape York where there might be the estuarine crocodile, it's going to be in this lagoon. He just can't see how much danger he's in right now.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. We're probably going to drag a bit. We don't need to give it too much shit, but try and stay over this way a bit. Something like that. Easy, what was I worried about? What's the worst that could happen, Daddy? Well, here we are at Sailors Creek. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be using this bridge. She's seen some floodwater. I wonder if the top's been taken or if people just stolen it for firewood. She's only a little creek, and that's why I was worried about coming in and camping here, just because of the lack of water. Decent sized culvert there. Obviously they've had culverts in here in the past, but you're not going to tame that wet season water. At least we've got a decent way out. Let's go and check out the crossing itself. Oh yeah, a bit of a step up. Oh no, we can come up over here. Deeper hole for the more adventurous, but we just don't have to worry about crocodiles in this one. Oh, plus that water was dirt, it stunk in that lagoon, so we're going to have a wash, but what a picturesque little creek, Sailors Creek. And there's fish swimming around here as well. And now I can hear traffic because we're only about COCKATOO off Bamaga Road. But sensational, what a spot. But we've got a job to do. Let's go and have a look at this approach is like. It's anything like the creek, good hard firm sand. Nothing to it really. Drop down there, go wide and then cut back in. Easy. Yeah, that's Sam's Creek, not Sam's Creek, Sailors Creek. Done, Sailor Creek. Some car parts up in the tree there. Again, a couple of things being cut, or tide marks cut in the corner there. Obviously, people bringing trailers through, which again just boggles my mind, but that's the adventure for you. Yeah, I was wondering what camping here would be like, and it looks like you've only got this bit of a flat spot up here with that massive washout, which I'm not going any closer to. A fair bit of water's run down here over the wet season, I can tell you. Anyway, that's the northern section of the southern section of the old, hazard lights, of the old Telegraph track. We've got 19 to there, 25, about 25 k's of the old Telegraph track. We're about to come out on Bamaga Road here in a minute. We'll film the rest of this as we go, because I'll release this OTT is just a separate own video. I think that's what most people want to see when they look for Cape York, so we'll release that as Cape York Part 2. Down a gear. I'm still, the heart's still going from that lagoon, really. Of all of it, that was the oh shit moment where I thought we're in trouble, because yeah, winching out of sand's one thing while you're by yourself, but being bogged to the arse, crocodile infested water, this would be a good one. And I hope I've given you a good crossflow of what the overlook of what the Old Tele Track is. Majority sand. If you can handle these crossed over wheel sections, these deep ruts where you're going to have a wheel lift if you've got a longer vehicle, Land Cruiser. If you can handle the articulation, then you're not going to have a problem. Again, your biggest brick wall is going to be GUNSHOT in the drop, or one of the tracks. But again, if you're with a couple of cars, and it'd be good fun. And I've got a taste of it. I don't know if the old croc tent up the top's got a T-shirt saying I attempted the OTT, or I did part of the OTT. We'll see when we get up there, but you have to let me know in the comments, do I deserve it? I haven't done the whole thing. Can I still get I travelled the OTT sticker and put on the car, or a T-shirt or a hat, or was it stolen valor? Because, yeah. And even 7:30, so what we got, 2.5 hours. 10 now. Yeah, 2.5 hours to get 28 Ks, 27 Ks, so and that's only the top half. There's still the bottom half of the southern section that could have been done. There's the entire north section's got all your water crossings, your majority of water crossings, so you probably wouldn't have to set up to recover as much on the north section as you will on the bottom. But yeah, again, it's just the uncertainty, not having a backup car with you. I haven't had phone reception since I left Archer River, so can't even let the missus know where I am, but that's alright, there was plans put in place for that. But this is what the OTT is all about. Just you'll be driving along a nice section like this, and then all of a sudden you'll get to a spot where the water's just washed out. Nice big gutter through the middle of the road, and then 9 times out of 10, as soon as you get through an obstacle and the road goes nice again, that's when you hit the corrugations, because everyone's got the boot in it to try and make up some good time on the smoother section. So that's all washed out in the middle. That's only going to get bigger and bigger. It's 2025 now. You watch by 2028. I bet you'll be driving up that. It'll be just a long GUNSHOT or a long thing. So even here, and that's the other thing I've got to be careful too, wherever they've made a track or made the track wider, which they've done here to get away from that, they've only cut the trees off, just left the stumps hanging up off the ground a bit. They haven't gone right to the ground, or they did, but it's since washed out more, and now the stumps are sticking up. It was the same coming out of GUNSHOT. When all that shrubby stuff, they just cut it off at ground level, and now it's just there as a poker sticking up to go straight through your tyre. And I know I'll cop shit for it in the comments, but the way I see it, if you've got a near fully inflated tyre, there's less resistance for that stick to poke its way through than if you're only running 20-25 pound and the tyre wraps down around it. But that's just me. the other pity too, and I did want to try and find one of the old telegraph line poles still intact, but sadly the only ones I've seen have been bent over, so the tourists can take their little keepsake for the track home. I don't know why you take an insulator or the top crossbeam of a telegraph pole home and put it on your man cave wall, and it's going to get thrown out when you die with all the other shit. Meanwhile, you've left poles bent over to the ground so you can reach it. Sure, some people have tried to winch out the whole poles themselves, but found they're only going to bend over and not come out of the ground because they're concreted in. But anyway. I had a look around after coming out at Lagoon too. The water come halfway up the doors on the passenger side because that was the deeper section of that crossing, but no water got into the car, so definitely happy about that. But that's where that rear door's where my power is, and it's down on the floor under the bed, so it would have been completely submerged if I got stuck in there and water had come in. It's alright if you got a ute and all your stuff's up in a tray on the back, whether it's your battery or your swag, all your sleeping stuff. I am in four-wheel drive. I didn't think I was. But at the end of the day, I'm glad I went to GUNSHOT and not to that creek back there, because if I'd spent there tonight and not seen anyone come through, it would have been a bit of a sadder situation. But got a bit of a quarry here. Big concrete culverts over on our left, top of the hill. A massive spot here to camp. I need to find the way out. Oh, there's supposed to be a tower here. I don't have a reception note. 186 metres above sea level. But yeah, I would have loved to be another. Well, Google it, you'll see them back in the prime. The telegraph poles back in the ye old days, where the only way we could communicate to Mother England and anywhere else was with the telegraph line. I'm going to try and find the box at the top where the undersea cable come out, but we'll see what happens when we get there. Every time we get a blowfly out of here, a new one comes in. The flies haven't been anywhere near as bad as I thought. Well, they haven't been bad at all, really. When I got out to take a photo of the Queensland sign at Hebel, I was swarmed and had them around my face there. But then just one or two that just fly around and not really do much. Same with mosquitoes. This morning was the first time I heard them and seen them, and it was only really baby ones. They've only just hatched, so luckily I've been wearing my shorts and singlet t-shirt at night time and not had any. Come on, stop that. Not had any issue with the old skeeters. That's just the problem with it. All corrugated, everyone's giving it shit coming off the track, and make up time. So we'll stop up here at the sign, we'll get a photo, and that'll do us for this video. Bring you back around here. And yes, someone can say it now, it wouldn't be that rough if you let your air to your tyres, but jump in your car, come up here and do the OTT. If you want to let your air out your tyres, do it. That's your choice, not mine. So anyway, that's going to do it for this section, this part of the Cape York video. We've come up here. We've conquered. No, we won't give it that. We've survived the section of the ATT we've come here and done. Of course, now smiles on the face. Very happy, but it could have gone a complete different way. That lagoon could have had a muddy base. It's amazing just seeing how much Cockatoo Creek's changed. Because unfortunately, people who are travelling around Australia, they take the videos and then they don't get them uploaded for a year later. Even I was watching one bloke, complete guide to the OTT or something, he posted 3 weeks ago, and it was taken last year. So why is it taking so long? This video will be up within a week of getting back, I suppose, week or two getting back. Even though there probably won't be anyone else travelling up here, so that's going to do it for part 2 of the Cape York Track. I've been Brad. Like, subscribe, all that sort of good gear. Comment if you need. If you've got any questions about the track, any questions about what I've done, what I've seen, what you've seen. I didn't mention anything. Come to think of it, I haven't seen any termite mine bound since we left GUNSHOT either. Except for the little penis ones on the side of the road. Like them ones. They're quite bulbous. That's it. We'll get out of here before we end up in the toilet. Thank you for watching. Thanks for following along. Stay tuned for the next part. We will be crossing the Jardine Ferry and exploring the northern Cape York area. Some World War II history that I want to check out. That undersea pipe or cable, and yeah, whatever else we can find along the way. But truck's being turned around here. I don't know if we're going to be able to read the sign because of the all the stickers. Oh, where is it? No, back more. There. We'll get a photo up the sign even though you can't read it. See if we can identify any channels we follow on there. Daysdale Hotel, nice. I know that pub. Alright, see you guys, and see you in the next video. Yeah, before the ferry come in way downstream where we crossed. Whoop, there goes the croc now. I seen that record in the water. They turned many near misses today. If I get out of here, we're sticking to the blacktop.